4, 3, 2, and 1.
What's up, bro?
Brother. Against the Grain, episode 11.
We're back.
We're back. Blah, blah, blah. Hey, so I just want to start off this episode by acknowledging this beautiful piece of art. This was actually given to me as a gift for my 27th birthday. This last weekend. My beautiful girlfriend Kiana painted this for me. And if you guys don't know, this is actually an album cover. Tame Impala's album. I forget what the name is of the album, but this is the actual cover of the album. It's one of my favorite albums. I know I say it's one of my favorite albums, don't know the name.
Yeah.
But every single song on this brings a disco, retro, futuristic vibe. And I remember when this
album.
Yeah, when this album first came out, because my girlfriend, she loves to paint. I was like, and I remember I was looking at the album cover. I was like, that would be so cool if you did this down the road or whatever. But that just I forgot that I ever even said that.
Yeah. And
she did this for me, man.
Yeah,
so shout out to Kiana Ray Alvarez. This is beautiful. We're back, guys. I miss you guys. I love you, Brandon.
Love you too, bro.
Episode 11.
11, dude. We made it.
People didn't think we'd make it this far, but we're here.
We're here. You know what it is. We're here.
How's life, man?
It's good, man. Just work, you know.
Just work?
Work.
Come on. I know you're up to some stuff behind the scenes.
I'm not, dude.
Yeah, you are.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm just trying to
COD with the boys.
Yep.
Those COD nights are crazy.
Yeah, we have some fun online.
You, Danny, and Laguna.
Yep. What's happening in the world right now, brother? We got UFC fights, first sporting event.
What did you think about the Cucuy Gaetti fight, dude?
Okay, honestly, first off, I just respected Dana White for making that happen.
Yeah.
This is the first national sporting event in, 3 months, 4 months? Huge.
Yeah, about 3 months.
So the fact that they were able to put this together is super impressive.
I think so, too.
It was on my birthday, May 9th,
it was
Saturday. So the fact that I got to enjoy my birthday with all my best friends and
watch UFC.
It was like a dream come true, dude. And so as far as how the fights went, how my picks, so all my picks pretty much lost. But I always go for the underdog in a way. I had Tony Ferguson winning.
Me too.
I wanted to see him fight Khabib so bad that I was like, whatever it takes for him to fight Khabib, let's make it happen. Yeah. So he had to obviously win this fight, which didn't help him out in any way.
No,
by him taking this fight, he had nothing to gain.
Exactly.
But the fact that he took it made him look even more cool. You know, let's go, dude. Let's do it for the people.
You gotta respect him more for what he took.
He cares more about us than his own little title. So he took on Justin Gaethje. Crazy bloodbath fight.
Fight of the year.
Fight of the year for sure. I was so excited watching it.
Yeah.
Gaethje listened to his coaches, pulled back a little bit. Justin Gaethje was going in crazy at first in the first 2 rounds. He started breathing heavy and getting tired. His coaches said, and that was the cool thing about this card is you could hear the coaches telling him. The coaches are normally in a big fight you can't really hear them at all because the crowd's loud. Yeah. And so this one you hear and you could see if they listen to their coaches or not. And the coaches told Gaethje, take 20% off of your punches, and that's exactly what he did. He went 5 rounds, didn't slow down once.
Yeah,
chopped him up.
He slowed down once when he got caught with that uppercut. And Ferguson dropped him.
Oh yeah, so Ferguson buzzed him in the 3rd round, right?
Yeah.
That sucks, huh?
I know, he had it.
I know, Gaethje literally got lifted off of his feet.
He got saved by the bell.
But dude, the fact that he came back the next round as if he never even got dropped is pretty crazy.
Oh yeah. That was
Ferguson, one of his main coaches is Eddie Bravo, one of our favorite jiu-jitsu coaches, favorite jiu-jitsu artists of all time.
Podcasters.
10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
He beat Hoyler Gracie, I believe. Not Hoy. It's either Hoyce or Hoyler, but I think it's Hoyler Gracie. At the time, these guys were untouchable, and Eddie Bravo met him in a tournament and freaking made him tap, dude. If you guys get a chance, look up Eddie Bravo beating Gracie on YouTube. It's insane. Yeah. You could see Joe Rogan in his corner. Eddie Bravo is one of Joe Rogan's best friends, and he's the one who got Joe Rogan into
Conspiracies and
into conspiracies, but also trained Joe in jiu-jitsu, and he really like brought him into that world and helped him out and stuff like that. So whenever Eddie Bravo beat Hoyler, Joe Rogan was there in Brazil, and it was, I don't know what year it was, but
it was a while ago, like a long time.
Yeah, if you get a chance, watch that, because you could literally hear his knees just popping, dude, throughout the whole fight. He's like, dude, I couldn't get him to tap. Like, there was times where I was literally like, I could just feel his knee just getting tore apart, and he'd look at the ref like, what do I do? And he's like, you know, they just kept going, and he finally submitted him, dude. So Eddie Bravo was Tony Ferguson's. It wasn't Tony Ferguson's corner, and there's times where you could hear Eddie Bravo tell Ferguson, who is like a black belt jiu-jitsu artist, go for an ankle pick, try and scramble with him. Let's create some scrambles to tap him, right? Because Tony was getting jacked up on his feet, dude, and Tony's listening to him. Not once did Tony try to take down, and he kept getting chopped up. So I don't want to know what that conversation was after the fight, because you could clearly hear Eddie telling him, like, let's go tap him, you know, let's go. Change it up.
Let's see what you got.
And he didn't, and so, you know, that just shows how important your coaches are, and, you know, if you don't listen to them, they obviously see things that you don't.
But Tony has a chin of freaking iron, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is one tough son of a gun.
Yo. It was a TKO, but Tony didn't like. He didn't like. It was still on the feet, you know. And the ref Herb Dean was actually a really good call, because Tony's not. Will never stop, you know. Even if his arm was getting ripped in half, he wouldn't like tap.
Yeah, he's gonna go.
And so his face was literally like mangled, turned sideways, and Gaethje was just pounding on him. And there was a part where Gaethje hit him on the cheek, and Tony was just like backing up, like, I'm still gonna go in, but like you could tell he wasn't like mentally there.
Yeah.
And Herb just stopped in, jumped in.
I thought that ref, though, for the co-main event, stopped early.
Yep.
That was a bad stoppage.
Yeah, and I was actually that was my main fight for that card, was Dominic Cruz versus
Cruz looked good.
Cejudo.
Cruz looked good.
This fight tore me in half, dude, because all of my favorite fighters were fighting each other.
Yeah.
I love Gaethje to death. I love Ferguson, and then I love Cruz, and I love Cejudo. But I had to go with like the people that I've been with since the beginning, and I love Cruz, and I've always liked Ferguson, and Cruz looked good, dude. There was a point where Cejudo took him down,
and he got right back up.
Gold medalist, wrestlist, and he did a little sit out and switched.
Oh,
did you see that?
Yeah.
I was
nasty.
Like, that was, you could tell, dude. He's been grappling like crazy.
Yeah.
Even me and Laguna were looking at each other like, dude, this guy's training on bottom, and then he dropped that knee. And
but
you know,
I think he was still getting up though. That was the thing,
dude. Like, as a ref, there's fights and then there's title fights.
Yeah.
If there's 10 seconds left on a fight, if a guy gets kneed and he's starting to try and get up, why would you call that fight, dude? You know,
exactly.
Let them go, dude. Let them go. This is probably Dominic Cruz's last title fight ever.
Yeah.
And
he looked good.
He looked amazing. He really did. The only thing that to ever hold Dominic Cruz back
is his knees.
His surgeries, his body is just, he's had like multiple surgeries, and him and Cejudo were the only two guys to beat what's his name? Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we good? They're the only two guys to beat Mighty Mouse. So the fact that those two guys, the only two guys to beat Mighty Mouse, were going against each other.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool, because Mighty Mouse is untouchable basically in like the flyweight divisions or featherweight. So I don't know, man. It was actually an exciting card.
It was a good card. And I don't know. I thought Cowboy got robbed too.
Cowboy, I actually didn't see that fight.
It was close. I don't think it was I didn't think Pettis just beat him crazy, because I thought Cowboy won some rounds. I thought he won the fight, but, you know, it's one of those things.
They probably did the math. Like, I bet you, like, they probably saw it was a draw, and they were, like, looking at both fighters, like, okay, one is old and probably on his way out. One is still young, got some years in him. Who would it benefit the sport more?
But you can't do that.
No, they might have, you know?
Yeah. The judges are...
So, like, they might have just gave Pettis it because, you know, he might be a little bit younger. throw him in a couple more, you know.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I thought that was a bad decision, but
I didn't see it.
oh well.
I'm always going for Cowboy. I wanted him to win anyways.
Same.
So whenever he lost, I was like, what can you do, man?
I know.
Yeah.
And then Cejudo retired.
Yeah, he didn't.
You don't
So,
think so?
no, I watched a podcast. It was actually the Logan Paul podcast. It's called Impulsive. He had Henry Cejudo on, I think, like 2 days ago. It was like the first podcast that Cejudo has done since the fight. And he was talking about, he shared a bunch of stories actually that I didn't know. So, he's an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
So I didn't know he actually lost his Olympic gold medal and got burned in a fire. And he almost died.
Damn.
He was saying that he went to like some award show or something and he got drunk off of wine. And it was at the time where the California fires were really bad.
Yeah.
And he like fell asleep like drunk and he woke up and his hotel was on fire. And he said he jumped from like a 2-story building. And he was running down the street. He couldn't see no one. He was literally running down the street like with like his clothes all burnt and stuff. And like he found a cop and like they got out of there. And his whole everything just got disintegrated.
Damn.
And so he was like telling a story about that. And then he was like teasing. He's still like, because like Logan Paul's like, dude, come on, why would you retire? He's like, you're still young. Like you're on top. Like, are you really out? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to get into real estate and stuff like that. And then like all of a sudden like a couple names started getting thrown in there. Like he's teasing like boxing, professional boxing.
I saw that. I saw what you said.
So I think he's at the Conor McGregor status where he just chooses. If the price is right, he'll step in.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's George St. Pierre too.
How many times has Conor and George retired? But if they put the right number down, I'm back in business. Which is smart. Why not? You deserve that.
Okay, I got a hypothetical for you. Khabib versus GSP in his prime.
That's the goal, dude. That's the main goal.
No, but I'm saying in his prime. GSP in his prime.
Oh, well, that's not going to happen.
Well,
so,
I know, I'm saying it's a hypothetical.
Okay.
It's like LeBron versus Jordan. I think GSP wins.
I think GSP wins, too.
I think he's too strong.
I think GSP wins now.
I think so, too.
I think if they fought again right now, I think GSP would beat him.
Yeah.
Dude, George St. Pierre showed me so much, especially when he came back after a 4-year retirement and fought Michael Bisping.
Yeah.
I really thought Michael Bisping was going to destroy him. I'm like, I get it. He's coming back to get that check. And he rocked him, dude. He didn't even fight like normal GSP style. He didn't like try and hold him down and get the dub. He just went straight up. Boom! I was like, oh, dang. He just popped his fake eye out. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Anyways, man, what have you been
Honestly, I want to make this podcast. I want to talk about you and I want to talk about me a little bit.
Talk about you and
I want to talk about number one on my mind. No, but so we've had we already had 10 episodes. Everyone kind of knows who we are. The first episodes we talked about like how we know each other and stuff. But I wanted to talk I don't know. I wanted to just ask you what are some memories you had growing up as a kid? Do you have any memories that stood out to you? Any near-death experiences?
Near-death? I don't know.
Any crazy moments where you're like, dang, I can't believe I got through that? Or
well, yeah, I think so. I remember the first time. I think we mentioned a little bit when we first. We've always been family, but when we first started to kind of connect is when
I started to babysit you. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding. When we're at the Blood High School pool. Let's go throw a gainer at the high dive.
You're crazy. Forget that. Yeah, I'll never forget that either. Because I would always tell my brother and stuff. I would try and get him into all that crazy stuff, and he wouldn't. Shout out to Luke Griego.
Yeah,
Luke,
shout out to Luke.
He recorded so many documentaries of me when I was a kid, and he was he was the film artist. So I showed Luke how to use a video camera when he was 7 years old, and I was maybe 14 or something, and I was into doing jackass films, and our parents would just leave us alone during the summers because we wouldn't go to summer camp, or what do they call that?
Yeah.
Summer school?
Yeah, I would never do that either.
Rec?
Yeah, the rec.
Yeah,
summer rec.
I went one day and I told my mom, I'm like, if you send me here again, I'll run away. I promise. I said, I'll run away.
Hear your mom,
I said,
dude.
you will run. You will have to find me. Because I showed up and she's like, just go. You think you're like? I was like, I'm not doing that. So anyways, so I convinced her to let us stay home. I was old enough. So it was me and Luke at the house. And so I'm like, Luke, you're gonna film us, you know?
Yeah.
And you're gonna film me. I'm gonna ride down the slide with the scooter. And so Luke would just film us doing crazy stuff. But yeah, but anyways, like with you, like you were Luke's age. You graduated with my younger brother.
Me and Luke are really good.
And so you and Luke have always been like really tight.
Yeah.
Because obviously you guys are in the same class, everything. And yeah, whenever you were like, what, 6 years old?
Yeah, something like that. I don't really
You were like a
remember the
little
age.
twig, dude. And I'm like, because I used to be crazy off the Davy
Yeah,
Morris.
you
and
were.
I'm like, Brandon, because you would see me and you're like, how do you do that? I'm like, Brandon, like I'd give you little pep talks. I'd like bring you in. I'm like,
You just gotta do it.
I'm like, you gotta just not be scared, dude. I'm like, who cares if you flop? I said, I flop all the time. And you were just like, I could just see you getting all inspired. Like, just go up there and do a gainer, dude. Just run and do it. And you're like, and you back flop. But dude, like you were so ballsy, and I love that. I was like, dude, that because you reminded me of me when I was a kid. Because I used to have older cousins who would dare me to jump off houses and get hurt and like stupid stuff, dude. Blow myself up. And so like whenever like you would do that, I was like, dang, this guy's cool. So I was like happy that you're hanging out with my brother Luke, you know. But you almost died, dude. There was a couple times you landed. I was like,
uh-oh. You swim out.
I think I just heard his neck snap. Turn the other way. I'm all, did not tell him to do that.
Lifeguard.
Oh my gosh,
that's
dude.
the craziness.
What else, dude? Have you ever like gotten in any car accidents or anything like that?
Yeah, do you know who my mom is? I'm just kidding. Shout out to my mom, I love you. No, I've gotten like 5, dude, with my mom.
Shut up.
Yeah, do you know like the Walmart, like the Walmart stop sign? Do you know how it was bent forever, like kind of like a long time ago? There's that one that was bent.
She hit it or what?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh,
Dude, I could think of so many stories where like I should have died.
Oh yeah.
And shout out to my parents. I love you guys, but like there was some times where like I was like, especially with my dad, dude. Like no, like my dad is the best dad ever.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
couldn't have been a better dad. But like all the times that I've like almost gotten killed with him, dude. Like, as a kid. Like I used to help my dad. Shout out to Brian Griego, love you. I used to help him bale hay, so we'd be throwing hay all day in the summer. And there was a time where like I was riding on the haystack. We had stacked it really high, and I was riding on the trailer, and we were driving to like another property. So he was in the truck, I was on the flatbed, way up on the bales of hay, and I was standing like surfing, like I thought I was all cool. And my dad, dude, hit a freaking light pole, dude. He hit a light pole, and so the trailer and the truck instantly stop, and I go flying, free fall, dude, from the top of the stack.
Dang.
And I land in the bed of my dad's truck, dude.
Little Shane.
I was like going from dancing, like woo, like I was all happy. My dad gave me a Coke. And then all of a sudden he hits a freaking pole, dude, and the ground just disappears from underneath me, and I fucking land in the back and freaking land. I land in the back of the truck, dude, and I'm like looking around, and I just remember my dad like shaking me, like, "You all right, Hito?" And I'm like I probably had a concussion, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, "It's okay. We're gonna go get you some McDonald's."
Bro.
He's all, "It's okay. Like you're all right." And I'm like, "Oh,
Don't tell your
probably
mom.
out of it, yeah."
I was talking with some friends yesterday. I was one of like those big snowstorms we get,
Yeah.
and we were in the back, like, because I live in rural communities. My parents do, and we were like, I was in high school still. We had like 20 people, dude, with like 20 people, and we're having a big old snowball fight. And like we're in the back of the truck, dude, and some guy jumps in, whoever owns the truck jumps in, right?
Yeah.
And I'm ready to throw, dude. I'm like mid motion throwing, so, and the truck he takes off like whoa.
Oh.
Dude, I just fly in the truck.
Dang.
Get back
dude.
up, run in, hop in.
You got back in.
Yeah.
They probably didn't even notice you were gone, huh? That's
That's
funny, dude.
That hurt, dude, because I like went over the tailgate and just like
Yeah.
landed on my shoulder. I thought I broke my collarbone for a little bit, and I was just like, rip.
You were pretty like flexible little guy, huh?
Yeah.
You probably just fell and like got up.
I did. I got up and ran back.
That's funny, dude.
Oh.
I think the craziest like near-death experience that I've had. Well, I've had several, man. I've been in like car collisions.
No, I was gonna say, what's that one at Allsup's? The infamous Josh at Allsup's.
Oh man. So, I grew up in Los Chavez, and people were giving me a hard time. I'm like, yeah, I grew up in the hood. They're like, Los Chavez is the hood, whatever. And I'm like, what do you define the hood?
Yeah.
Like, Los Chavez, yeah, there's a lot of country people and stuff, but like Los Chavez, Allsup's, it's a different story, especially whenever the Wild Pony was open.
Yeah.
Dude, my car. So let me just start the story off by I was at a Chris Brown concert at the Pavilion. I was with my girlfriend at the time. And actually, I was with a girlfriend, but my girlfriend was waiting for me like at home or whatever.
Yeah.
We were like house sitting or something. And I was like, hey, I'm on my way home from the concert. I'm like, I'm going to get us some Allsup's burritos and we'll hang out for the rest of the night, you know?
Yeah.
So I was going to meet her at the house. We were house sitting, and it was kind of just like a chill, laid-back night, you know? Chris Brown. I wasn't even, like, it was just a whatever night, you know?
Yeah.
So I stop at Allsup's past 11 p.m. It's like 11:30 at night. Allsup's is open 24/7. I go to the Allsup's, get my burritos, and as I'm leaving, so I'm parked like right in front of like the Allsup's.
Yeah.
Like not where the gas stations are at, but like at the little parking right in front of it. And I'm leaving with my burritos, and I hear there's like about 20 people outside, like 10 on. It looks like two gangs.
Yeah.
So there's like 10 people. So this is my truck. There's 10 people right here, and then there's 10 people right here. And they're approaching each other, and it looks like there's going to be a fight. And so I'm like right away, like interested, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I get to see a fight before I go home, you know? Like, just, I love, like, seeing that. Like, it was like hood fight, you know?
Yeah.
So these guys are all approaching
World
each other.
star.
Yeah, like, F you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, sweet. So this is my truck. These guys are fighting on this side. I'm walking on the passenger side, and I'm, like, going to watch it from, like, the bed of my truck.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everyone in the whole fight pulls out revolvers at the same time. So there's 10 revolvers on each side. Every guy had a gun. Everyone pulled out guns and just started shooting each other. Spraying each other. And they were shooting up my truck, dude. Like, I was right here, dude. So they were shooting my truck.
Yeah.
My truck had about 8 bullet holes in it. Someone tried to shoot me directly. And my dad actually just got me a toolbox for my truck, and it hit. So they aimed for me right here. They shot at me, and it barely hit the toolbox, and it bounced around in there. And I was hiding by the tires, ducking down, dude. There's just bullets going off like crazy. And finally, I hear, like, all the bullets stop, dude. And you hear them trying to reload. And, like a movie, dude. I just jump in my truck, start my vehicle, and I have my head down, dude, and I put it in reverse. I freaking hit a bump. I think I ran over a dead body, and I took off, dude. Like, peeled out of there. And they started shooting again. 2 people got murdered that night.
Damn.
And the guy that got murdered died literally on this side of the opposite side of the truck as me. He got murdered. It was a double homicide. And then there was a couple other guys that got shot but, like, lived. So it was the Banditos. They were having, like, a rival or a...
Like a rival.
It was like a gang dispute, like for like a territory.
Yeah.
It was like a territory dispute, and there was like local biker gang po' boys that were like Los Chavez, kind of like more low key gang, and the Banditos were like taking over, and they freaking shot each other up, dude. So I went and I was like still holding my burritos, and I called my girlfriend. I'm like, oh, I just almost died. I'm like, you better eat these freaking burritos and love them because I almost died for them. Dude, the burritos were all crunched. The bag was all crunched.
Oh.
And dude, so at the time I was watching Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that show?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
And like, so in my head, I'm like, snitches get stitches. I'm like, if I go and tell anyone, I'm like, these guys are gonna find me and murder me or something if they're down to do that. So I didn't say nothing, dude. I kept quiet. I didn't even want to. I escaped the crime scene, dude. And about a month went by. And, dude, I found a bullet in my toolbox. I was like, this is crazy. Like, this bullet should have hit me. It was aimed at me.
Yeah.
And at the time, so I was just staying low-key. And then all of a sudden I get a call from, like, an investigator. And he's like, we found you on the camera. at the Allsup's camera fleeing the scene or something. They're like, you need to come in and give your statement. I was like, damn, like they got me. So I go in and I just tell them what happened. So I gave my statement, and so when I gave my statement, whatever, and they're like, okay, we need to see your vehicle. They're like, we need to search for evidence.
Yeah.
So they went through my vehicle, completely stripped it. Bro, they found 5 bullets in there that I had not even known about.
Damn.
5 bullets, dude. I only found 1, so that means they shot at least 6.
Yeah.
They said they found 7 holes, they couldn't find 1. Actually, they couldn't find 2 because I kept 1. I didn't tell them 1. I got to. I lost it. That sucks. But anyways, that's just like one of many stories, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like we always forget some of them too. Like if it wasn't that dramatic,
Yeah.
you would just forget.
Exactly. Like, well, even the traumatic ones. Like, if you have so many, like, growing up as a kid, you just forget.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
there's times where we wrecked vehicles, head-on collisions.
4-wheelers.
There's times where I literally, like, now that I just thought about it, like, at the lake, I literally was in a vehicle where I was in a Jeep, like, with no roof, and it completely rolled into a cave, or what is it called, an arroyo, and it flipped, and I flew out of it. And I remember I got up, and I looked, and the Jeep was deep in a cave. And, like, if I wouldn't have flown out and landed on the dirt, like, I probably would have got crushed by the sand.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, just stupid, though. Like,
Ugh.
that's like me getting in a vehicle with, like, a drunk kid, you know? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go to the other... Like, stupid. I was only, like, 17, like...
On top of the world.
Yeah, and, like, you would have
Invincible.
thought, like, any other person would have been like, okay, this is a sign, like, I need to stop. But me, I was like, let's keep the ball going. Like, the show goes on. Like, I was like Wolf of Wall Street.
Woo!
Like, let's go. I'm
Yeah.
making money. Since I was a freshman in high school, I was making money, dude. I always had a hustle, you know?
Yeah.
I was buying, like, I remember, like, I thought I was, like hot stuff, dude, when I think I was, like, an 8th grader. It was, like, 8th grade summer. I was working, like, a pretty good job. And I bought a Wii with my own money.
Yeah.
That was, like, when the Wiis first came out.
Yeah.
I was like, I got this. I, like, went and cashed out on it. Like, I just thought I was so sick, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, but looking back, I'm like, you stupid kid, you know? Like, you thought you had all this. You thought you were invincible,
Yeah.
you know? And I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, but, like, it took me till the age of 18 to realize, like, look, dude, you're not invincible. When I got a DWI. You know, I got a DWI at the age of 18.
Rude awakening.
Rude awakening, man.
Yeah.
I was running full speed and I hit that wall. At the time, I was interning at Sandia. And luckily, the manager that I had saw potential in me and invested in me and backed me up, let me keep my job. I just had to do, like, other types of things to keep it, you know?
Yeah.
I had to, like, sign up for, like, an agreement where I took, like, 2 random drug tests per month for a whole year. Which is fine, dude, you know? Like,
Yeah.
like, my career mattered more than that stupid stuff, you know? So
Yeah.
it kept me in line and let me get the ball rolling.
Kept you going. No, yeah, that's.
You know? So now looking back, I mean, I still work at Sandia.
Yeah.
You know? I'm an explosive technologist. I'm getting to blow stuff up all the time. And, like, I can't, like, go into detail about everything that I do, but, like, I work with explosives.
It's cool, yeah.
You know? So if God wouldn't have had my back and if God wouldn't have protected me,
Yeah.
I'd
You don't know
probably,
where you would be.
who knows, dude? I'd
Yeah.
probably be fighting MMA right now. I'm serious. I'd probably be, like, fighting, like, for, like,
Tyler
cheap
East.
paychecks, just doing what I can, you know?
Yeah.
I don't
It is
know.
what it is, man.
But, like, the stories will keep coming, guys. Seriously, as each episode goes on, we're going to start thinking of, like,
I
stuff
don't think I
that's
have
happened in
crazy
our
stories
past.
like that.
You do, Brandon. We have some crazy stories already. Rip.
Snow globe?
Snow globe? Oh my
Alex.
god, we haven't even talked about that. We've talked about Alex. We talked about
We
that
talked
crazy.
about Alex.
We've met a bunch of weird, crazy characters. But
I'll never.
Snow globe was so funny, dude. One of these days on our YouTube page, I'm gonna post Brandon raging at Snow globe. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life, because he's wearing the against the grain glasses, and he's literally, this is Brandon.
We don't want to
Like,
say where
he's
those
got
are.
like 5 chicks around him, and he's just like, woo! And I'm like behind him, like, yeah, that's my boy.
I turn around.
I'm like,
Well, then,
I was like watching like a young little tulip blossom. It was so cute.
Well,
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of Against the Grain, episode 11. We love you. Keep continuing to share our videos.
like, subscribe.
All that good stuff, okay? We have fun with you guys. We love sharing our stories, telling you about how weird we are. Hopefully you guys can join the movement. We got a lot of merch on the way. We got a lot of big stuff. As soon as this coronavirus stuff ends, we're going deep, guys. We're getting everyone together.
We're thinking about having a barbecue.
Oh, we're having a barbecue at the homeless shelter. We're going to be getting crazy with all the wild people. Woo! Let's do it, baby.
Let's go.
Anything else, Brandon?
That's it.
All right, we love you guys.
Love you.
Could be today, could be tomorrow. Love you guys. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.